not only me, my shipmates. What we saw, we didn't think of anything. Now we saw bodies on the boat on the Hadley, strewn along the deck. It didn't bother us, not outwardly, maybe inwardly, because I didn't feel it until years later. Seeing all those bodies across the deck, dead. So there was a difference. And during the typhoon, we moved from side to side to balance the ship. It never helped. But finally we ended up sleeping, and it was a joke to us as young kids going from side to side. We laughed it off. And yet, if that ship were to tip over, we were dead. But we never realized it. That was the difference of being young and not young. Hello, my name is Carl Tringali, also known as Carl Tringali. I was in the U.S. Navy from 1943 to 1946. I volunteered not to get drafted. I wanted to pick my own service, and I picked the Navy. And in 1943, I did convoy duty to North Africa in the Mediterranean and also the American theater. And I did that for about a year. The submarine, my ship was credited with 2 other ships to sink a submarine, a German sub. I have 2 battle stars in the American theater and Mediterranean. And then in 1944, we were convoyed. After the convoy, they rebuilt to an APD, which is a tank transport, and put 4 landing barges on us and shipped us to the Pacific, where we went to Okinawa, no, before Okinawa, San Diego, Pearl Harbor, and then to the islands in the Pacific. And the biggest event there was I was on the picket line in Okinawa for over 3 months, where the kamikazes attacked the ships. We were lucky, we never did, but we did get a call. The USS Hadley, which was a destroyer, was a kamikaze, couple of kamikaze hit it, and we went to rescue whatever people were alive. And there was over 70, I think it was 72 sailors that we picked up and put on our ship and then took them to a hospital ship. One of them, an 18-year-old kid, died on a mess table while the doctor was treating him. And we stood there in Okinawa for 3 months, and then we were shipped to the Philippines, and we did all the islands. And plus, we captured a couple of Japanese on a rowboat with hand grenades. And we disarmed them and captured them. And also, while we came back from Okinawa, we rescued a B-29 plane crew, which ditched after bombing Japan. And we spent time in Philippines and we were in a typhoon between the Philippines and Japan, which the captain let the ship run itself. And the next morning, by moving side to side, we tried to balance the ship. It didn't work. He just let it run, and the next morning, it was like nothing happened. And we as young sailors, we were all about 18, 19 years old. Didn't even worry about it. And then after that, we went into the occupation forces. When the bomb was thrown at Japan, we were in the Philippines and we celebrated. And then at the end of the war, we took in survivors, the occupation forces into Japan, Nagoya. And we shut up the mines to get into the port of Nagoya. And after that, we had enough points to go back. But we also had in Okinawa, one of the bombers broke through and dropped a bomb and missed us. And we heard a loud boom off our port side. And that was the bomber dropped the bomb. And also, I'm sorry to say, I shot at that plane, but I missed it because we had smoke screen. It was at night, and I just fired where they told me to fire. But that was it. And then the typhoon, so it made Okinawa a good trip. That's about it.
Thank you so much for sharing your story.
Made it short and sweet.
Could you tell us for the record, what ship were you on?
The USS Barber was a destroyer escort. And when it started, we had hedgehogs and depth charges. It was built for submarines, which we got one. But after that, when we shipped to the Pacific, they put 4 landing barges on us. And those 4 boats, they changed the number of the ship. From DE 161, we went to APD 57. And the name stayed the same. So it was like being on one ship with the same name, different number. And that's how we spent our time.
And could you please tell us, what was your job aboard ship?
I worked in the mess hall, but my general quarters was a 20 millimeter gun. And that's the gun I fired at the plane. But I missed. But I'm lucky he veered and he dropped the bomb and he missed. So I'll take it that way. Well, before I went into service, I worked at the Brooklyn Navy Yard as a pipe fitter's helper. And I worked on the Missouri and the Iowa, 2 battleships that were well known during World War II. The Missouri, naturally, was the surrender of Japan. So I feel good about that.
And could you tell us, did you have any brothers or sisters?
I had a brother that was an MP in the Army. Also World War II.
And tell us about your parents. Where were they from, sir?
Italy. And my father was in the Italian Navy when he was young. So that's why I think I became a Navy man.
Sure.
The only kamikaze that I saw is when we went to rescue the Hadley, because they all crashed into the ship.
You saw them hit the Hadley?
No. We got there. They were already dead, and we just picked up survivors.
Sure. Can you tell us about the process? How do you guys get the survivors out of the water?
Most of them came in. No, the ones we got were all still on board ship. There were bodies all over dead, but the live ones were on board, and we took them off the ship and put them on our ship.
But how do they get from one ship to the other?
We were tied up with each other.
Got it.
There was still smoking, the Hadley, when we got there. There were two ships, us and some other ship. They took off on their side, we took off on the other side.
You mentioned that there was an incident with Japanese in a rowboat.
Yeah,
Could you tell us more about that, please?
yeah, I got pictures I gotta show, I gotta find them. They were in rowboats. They were rowing with hand grenades on around their neck. And we picked them up, oh, I don't know, I think it was near Guam. And anyway, the landing boats went there with a couple of the sailors with shotguns. They surrendered. We took the hand grenades off, put them on our ship, fed them, and then put them on another ship, a prison ship.
Did you actually see them?
Yeah. I got pictures. I gotta find them. I'll show it to you.
What was it like to be up close to the enemy?
Oh, yeah. One of our guys talked Spanish. He talked Spanish to them, and he integrated them. It was interesting.
Where do they keep them? In a cell or?
No, they were on deck. We fed them and everything. Because I remember they were eating. I don't know where they put them. But they locked them up. And then I think they shipped them to someplace. Don't forget, I was in Okinawa 3 months. And we didn't sleep at night. They would come over, radar, pick them up, and then go away. Come back, go away. It was the nerve-wracking thing. There were nights we don't sleep. We just stood by the gun. Our job was to blow up the mines. You know, the surrender. We had a map of where the mines were going into Nagoya. And we shot them up. Then we went in. And it took us, I would say about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, to go into Nagoya from where we were anchored. We came in. And it was nice to see the whole town was down. The bombers, precision, I called it precision bombing. They just left a few houses up for us guys when we got there.
Could you tell us about the commissioning of the ship? You were a plank owner.
I was a plank owner, and the ship was built in Newport News and commissioned in the Norfolk Navy Yard. And it was named after 3 brothers that were killed on the Oklahoma in Pearl Harbor. They were engineers. And the mother came with the bottle to christen the ship.
Wow. That's incredible.
They died. 3 brothers, they got killed. They were working below deck. That's my battle station on the USS Barber, on the 20 millimeter gun. And I was there all the 3 years I've been with the ship. That was my station. One of them that went to boot camp with me, he died in North Africa.
Do you remember his name?
Yeah, Jules Panacovo. He got killed early. It was in, convoy duty. That's right. He was in the merchant marine part. He was on merchant ships, not Navy.
And what kind of person was Jules?
I know him from school and the neighborhood. I don't know if he was older than me, if he was drafted, because he picked the Merchant Marine because he was a longshoreman.
Hi, I'm Roger Kilfoyle. I am the president and co-founder of Mission Margraten Plus. We love our World War II veterans. We're on a mission. We're going to bring 17 World War II veterans to the Netherlands in May of 2022. We need your support. We're trying to raise the funding and awareness for this effort. You can text WW2GO to 243725. You can text WW2GO to 243725 and make a donation to bring 17 World War II veterans to the Netherlands in 2022. You can also visit our website at missionmargratenplus.org. Thank you.
Perfect.
Good job.
We just interviewed Carl, Mr. Carl Tringali, one of our heroes, and he's coming to the Netherlands with us in 2022. With your help, we'll be able to bring 16 more World War II veterans. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your service, Carl.
Good job.
Say that again?
I just said, keep smiling. The whole world smiles with you.